Hey there, Morty heads! Welcome back to Morty Mysteries, the one-stop shop for all your interdimensional curiosities and bizarre happenings in the world of Rick and Morty. Today, we're diving deep into the multiverse to unravel the top 5 mistakes made by our favorite genius, or maybe not so genius, Rick Sanchez himself. So sit back and let's take a trip through the cosmic blunders of everyone's favorite mad scientist. Rick Sanchez is a brilliant scientist. In Rick and Morty, he is an alcoholic with no respect for most people, and he has a tendency to put his family in danger. Thanks to the fact that he is one of the smartest people in many universes, he is arrogant, but able to get himself out of the stickiest situations. Here are some of the darkest and most catastrophic failures Rick and Morty has ever seen. Ranked number 5, worst mistake. Coming in at number 5, we have a blunder of cosmic proportions, Rick's creation of a chain of decoy families in the episode Mortyplicity. Now, you might think having decoy families is a genius move, right? Wrong. In an attempt to protect his real family, Rick set up a series of decoy families designed to take the fall in case of an emergency. But things took a dark turn when these decoys, instead of acting as a shield, decided to play a twisted game of their own. The decoys, imbued with the same memories, feelings, and personalities as their originals, started replicating themselves. Soon, it became a chaotic chain reaction, with each layer of decoys becoming aware of the layers they did not create. It's like a Rick and Morty version of Inception, only with more sci-fi chaos. The original Smith family, clueless about this unfolding madness, was off-planet with the Space Beth, leaving the decoys to their doomed fate. The result? A calamitous episode filled with needless deaths as the decoys, unable to cope with the realization that they were not the originals, spiraled into a self-destructive frenzy. Ranked number 4, worst mistake. Next, coming in at number 4, this episode highlights how Rick's parenting skills hit rock bottom, especially when faced with a decision that would determine the fate of the Smith family. Beth, seeking autonomy, was faced with the choice of whether to go to space or stay on Earth. Now, any responsible parent would support their child's decision, right? Well, not in Rick's world. Unwilling to make the choice and be a responsible father, Rick concocted a convoluted plan. He created a perfect clone of Beth, complete with her memories, and then randomized the Beths so that even he wouldn't know which one was real. As the drama unfolded, the rest of the family remained oblivious to the truth. But here's where it gets messy. Rick's constant attempts to convince each Beth that the other was the clone reached cringe-worthy levels. His manipulative mind games left the entire family utterly disgusted with him. It's a classic case of a father failing to take responsibility and instead resorting to a sci-fi soap opera. The emotional toll on the family was palpable, showcasing a side of Rick that we rarely see. A man so afraid of facing consequences that he'd rather play with the fabric of reality. Number 3, worst mistake. Now, you'd think that Rick, tired of pointlessly killing his alternate selves, would opt for a safer alternative, right? Well, that's where the Citadel of Ricks comes into play. Tired of the endless bloodshed, Rick decided to assist the surviving Ricks in creating the Citadel, a supposed safe haven for Ricks and Mortys alike. Little did he know that this Citadel, meant to bring about unity, ironically became a hotbed of betrayal, danger, and moral decay. The Citadel, rather than fostering camaraderie, saw multiple attempts on Rick's life, showcasing the distrust among the Ricks themselves. And here's the kicker. The supposed haven made the Ricks and Mortys more vulnerable by gathering them in one centralized location. But the Citadel's sins don't end there. It was revealed to be engaged in despicable activities, such as the torture and overworking of Mortys, manipulating Beth and Jerry into creating more Mortys, and overall descending into a dystopian nightmare. The irony of a place intended for safety turning into a breeding ground for corruption is a good testament to the show's ability to twist expectations. Number 2, worst mistake. For the second worst mistake, we have the root of countless troubles, teenage love. In this episode, in an attempt to get Morty off his back about Jessica, Rick concocted a love potion. Little did they know, this would turn into a love story of apocalyptic proportions. Rick, in his infinite wisdom, forgot to mention a tiny detail to Morty. The potion shouldn't be used during flu season, as it would turn a simple crush into a viral catastrophe. Morty, armed with the love potion and heading to the school dance, unleashed a wave of uncontrollable love that quickly spiraled out of control. Confident in his ability to fix any mess, Rick attempted a cure using praying mantis DNA. Now, what could go wrong, right? Well, everything. Instead of solving the problem, it turned the affected people into bloodthirsty mantis mutants, hungry for Morty's demise. Undeterred, Rick tried a second cure, incorporating even more animal DNA. But surprise, surprise, it only mutated the population further, leaving Morty and Rick with no choice but to abandon their universe. What started as a simple love potion ended in unpredictable consequences of a dimension-hopping escape. Number 1, worst mistake. Lastly, brace yourselves for the worst mistake as we dig into the raw and unfiltered backstory of our favorite mad scientist, Rick Sanchez. In a devastating turn of events, Rick lost his wife, Diane, and his daughter, Beth, at the hands of another version of himself. This tragic incident served as the catalyst for the creation of Rick's iconic portal gun. Fueled by grief and vengeance, Rick embarked on a relentless quest through the multiverse to find and eliminate the version of himself responsible for this unspeakable tragedy. This journey led to a chilling trail of blood, as Rick, consumed by his quest for revenge, ruthlessly eliminated countless versions of himself. Little did he know that this very quest would eventually come back to haunt him. The Council of Ricks, unaware of Rick's heartbreaking motivations, pinned the blame on him for the chain of murders that unfolded in close Rick counters of the Rick kind. His relentless pursuit of justice had inadvertently turned him into the enemy of the very Ricks he sought to protect. Despite his best efforts, Rick never found the version of himself responsible for the tragedy. The toll of the search weighed heavily on him, and it seemed that he had given up, realizing that the pursuit of vengeance had only brought him more harm than good. And there you have it, the top 5 worst mistakes in Rick's tumultuous journey through the multiverse. It's clear that beneath the chaos and laughter lies a character burdened by his own choices and the consequences of his actions. Rick's multidimensional missteps remind us that even the smartest minds can't escape the emotional labyrinth of their past. Like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay tuned for more dimension-hopping revelations. Until next time, keep questioning the depths of Rick's complexities. And remember, not every portal leads to answers.